Let's talk about chemistry pace 1129. I want to point out a couple things here on page 9, and then we're going to I'm going to give you an overview of the whole middle part of the pace, and then I'm going to make a separate video to come back and talk about the math problems that we'll be solving at the end of this pace. So this is, I mentioned this before in another video, and I'm just going to say it again very briefly. This can be a very confusing topic, and in the chemistry classes that I teach, I tend to make this more an enrichment or optional topic and leave it for the end in case we have time, or if we don't have time, we skip it and it's not that big of a deal. But we can't do that because this is pace number 9 in the series, which means we only have 3 more to go, yay. But this is a challenging one. So here's some good news and some bad news. Let me start with the good news, okay? At the very top of page 9 is a chart, and it summarizes oxidation and reduction, okay? And what that does to the oxidation number, what that does to the number of electrons, and then it introduces the oxidation reduction agents terms, which you're going to be reading about. So if something gets oxidized, the other thing that is working on that reaction is called the oxidizing agent, okay? An agent is something that's doing the work. I don't have a good way of really making this super clear, okay? What I'm going to try to look for after I make this video is I'm going to look for a few other YouTube videos because I think it looks like some great, some great experiments in this section of the pace that would be really fun to watch. And maybe there are some other YouTube chemistry teachers out there who've covered these topics and teach it often and just really have this content mastered. I'm going to look for a couple of those and add them to my pace success page for this pace. And I'm going to encourage you, if you come across a video in your own search that you say, wow, this really helped, Mr. Anger should add this to his page, please send it to me, okay? Send it. And we'll put that link in there because it'll be, if it helped you, it'll help other students, okay? So go ahead and do a YouTube search or wherever you look. And if you find something else that just helps this pace be more understandable, glad to include it, okay? That's the whole purpose of this page, is to help students succeed with this chemistry. So that's, as you move through the pace, you're going to talk about batteries, different types of batteries, how they work, electrolysis, electroplating, some really cool stuff. They get way down into the details of what's happening to the electrons and which metal is, what's happening to the metals, what's being oxidized, reduced. It can be confusing, okay? Do your best. There's not a lot of math in this pace. It's really just content. But I do want to point out an error on page 9, okay? If you're on page 9 and you're reading very carefully and you're studying every word, hanging on every word, thinking this is important, I need to know this. And then you get down to the last sentence on the 3rd paragraph. It says, lithium is the strongest oxidizing agent, but it's also the weakest reducing agent. You see that statement? They actually have it backwards. And if you turn the page and look at page 10, that chart will make it clear. And then as they continue talking about it, they have it correct the rest of the way when they talk about lithium. But this particular statement should be the other way. It should say, lithium is the strongest reducing agent, but it is also the weakest oxidizing agent. So if you just want to cross that out there on page 9, fix that. And a previous student who went through this pointed it out to me and told me that they actually had that switched. And as I read through it, thought about it, yep, indeed. The pace is wrong on that one. It's just a typographical error, okay? But I don't want that to end up confusing you, so just clarify that in your pace. And then I'm going to trust you to just kind of read through. I'm going to try to find some videos. Again, if you find some, send me links. Let's do this as quick as possible, help other students who are working through this pace even as we are making this video. And then I'm going to come back and do one more video about the math that is at the end of the pace, which actually does show up on the checkup, self-test, and pace test. Oh, look at this. This is cool. I forgot to show this to you earlier. One of my students, I think, gave me this as a Christmas gift. It's a periodic table of the elements mug. And so it has all the elements on there. Isn't that neat? And I have so many coffee mugs, I don't need one to drink coffee from. And it's so big. When you have a big opening like that, the coffee tends to get cold too fast. So, but it's great for holding my markers for chemistry class. So that's what I'm using it for. All right, do your best. Keep your thinking cap on. Try not to get confused. Make little charts, things like that. And we'll see you again for another video in a little bit.